What's going on, Chris?
What's going on?
How you doing today, brother?
I'm doing great.
So
Great.
you're gonna be
Disney's
filling
been
in
awesome.
tonight. You're gonna be
Yeah.
filling in tonight. I truly appreciate you for filling in. Chris is spending some time with his kids before they go back to
Well
school.
deserved.
I think that's like well understandable. You're gonna they're only that size once, man. And when you get to my age and you look at your kids and they're all but grown. I mean, two of them are out of the house. One of them's like just waiting to get done with two more courses before she's getting out of the house. So hey, look, I anytime you start talking to me about family, I have a soft spot for it. And I've kind of worked with a guy growing up that used to kind of distilled into me that it goes family and I don't want to get super spiritual, but it goes like family, God, and then work, right? I mean, and that was always the way that he did everything. And so when I look at life, a lot of times that's how I look at it. Like family's the number one, right? That's your anchor. And then going forward, you decide what your second and third and fourth are, but always that number one has to be the family, man. How's your week been going? You have that fancy mic. I keep forgetting about your fancy mic.
I love this microphone. I'm being tortured by the sun. It just hates Florida for some reason right now.
What do you mean?
It hates the rest of the United States, but man, it was $120 in the shade today. Like it was brutal.
Man, y'all kill me with that stuff. Y'all kill me with that. Florida's not that hot. It's not that hot.
Oh, come on, man. Outdoor workers unite.
Man, you got the coast, you got the breeze coming through. It is not that hot.
No, man, it's a swamp. Wayne, it's a swamp. Florida is the swamp of swamps, man. It is.
So for 32 years of my life, I lived in Georgia. I lived in like mid Georgia where the humidity is so hot that you walk outside and you're instantly wet. I mean, you instantly walk outside and you're sweating. There's no like you're not going to be clean longer than the part that you walk outside, right? And so now that I live up north, I don't have those problems. Today it was 80. Today was, I mean, in case you want to know, it was 80 degrees today. There's zero. Humidity was probably 10. I mean,
it's 80 in my house right now. My air conditioner cannot keep up.
So look, I have sympathy for you, but for the past 10 years or so, I haven't had to deal with any of that nonsense.
Good God. Yeah. I don't know, man. Normally we get reprieve by the rain every day because Florida, we
every day.
We ain't had rain
like clockwork
a while. It's like every 4 days. It usually rains every day, all the time. Every day. Yeah, no, we're not getting no rain. So yeah, it's just brutal, man. It's brutal working.
What are y'all doing, man?
Dead Zone knows.
Why aren't y'all getting any rain?
I don't know. I have no idea. That's what I'm saying. The sun has decided to say no rain. Let's torture Florida. Maybe it's to keep y'all out of Florida. Quit coming to Florida.
It is? Keeping everybody out of Florida.
Keep them out of Florida. Whoever can last gets to stay.
I mean, they probably seen you holding that American flag during the hurricane, and nobody wants to come to Florida now because they're afraid that they might have to hold American flag during a hurricane.
Florida, man. Yeah, that's the only way you get residency. Hold this.
That's right. You got to go out in the hurricane and hold this flag, or you got to go back to New York.
Get your Florida badge or get out.
But, I mean, because what New York's y'all's biggest like transplant at this moment. I mean,
yeah, pretty much.
It's hold this flag or go back to New York.
We got a lot. Ohio, Canada. A lot of you Canadians love Florida.
Are you serious? There's a lot of Canadians down in Florida.
A lot. So it must be I'm so cold as get out all the time that let's just go sizzle for a little while in Florida.
Man, that's crazy. So I used to travel all over the United States doing hazmat, and Florida, we had a few places in Florida that we would stop in. One of them was Tampa, Florida. So when you say like the rain, every day you could see the rain starting off in a distance, and you'd see the clouds build up, and they'd roll in every day. It was like little after lunch every day. You'd see the clouds start, and you'd see it roll in, and it would keep on going. And we visited Ybor City. I know you know what Ybor City is. We were down there, and
love it. The board,
I guess because
cobblestone roads and stuff.
I guess because I've traveled a little bit of everywhere, like a whole lot of things don't shake me, right? I mean, I don't get shaken about a whole lot of things. And I'm in this work truck and we're down in Ybor City and I hit a stop at a red light. There must be a red light every 20 feet. And there must be
especially
100
downtown
Ybor.
There
must be 100 of them every 20 feet. I would hit the stop sign and somebody would run up to the truck and they say, "Hey man, you got $1?" And I'd say, "No." They'd say, "You got a cigarette?" And I'd say, "No." And I mean, directly 20 feet later, somebody else, "Hey man, you got a cigarette?" And I'd say, "No, man." He say, "Hey, you got $1?" I'd say, "No." Every light for, I know, 20 lights, I got the same spiel. "Hey man, you got $1?" And I'd say, "No." And he'd say, "Hey man, you got a cigarette?" And I'd say, "No."
So
about like 21, I had had enough because they got these things timed. They got these things timed where you hit every single one of them. And like 21, I pull up to it and the dude starts to run up to the truck. And I said, "Hey, man, you got $1?" He said, "No, I was about to ask you the same thing." I said, "Well, I know you got a cigarette. You've been asking everyone." Not a single other person asked me as we went down that line.
He ain't got no cigarette.
Yeah, they're like, "No, he ain't got it." Not a single other person.
Right out of the Florida book. There you go. You just reverse it on them. Oh, you make them do well, I'll give you a cigarette, but you got to do 20 push-ups.
Not a single person. Not a single one.
I got him doing jumping jacks in the middle of
you got a cigarette. Anyways,
calisthenics. Let's go.
We got some stuff going on with Funko. There's going to be some controversial stuff. I kind of want to talk about a few other things. There's some Gen Con news that I know really hasn't been out there. I was going to go to Gen Con. I pulled out at the last minute, rightfully so. Lots of things we're going to be talking about today, man. Lots of things we're talking about. You're going to do Chris though, man. And you got to hit this chat up real quick. Can you hit the chat up? You can't hit the chat up.
I can hit the chat up.
Can you
pop it on the screen?
Oh, there you go. You can hit the chat up. Look at that.
I can say it though.
First person in the house is going to be Chase. Chase's Kingdom. We appreciate you, brother, for showing up.
Dead Zone Citizen.
Dead Zone's in the house.
Dead Zone Citizen. And if you want one of his awesome mystery boxes, keep an eye out on his Instagram.
Oh man, that's right. He's got some of those SDCC mystery boxes coming.
Yes. And use affiliate code Chase's Kingdom, all caps, and get yourself 10% off.
How are you an affiliate with
hey man,
Dead Zone Citizen?
That's how the metalheads rock. So you got. I think your hair has to be longer than 5 inches.
I just knew it, man. I just knew it.
Wayne's wife. Wayne's wife. Always good to see Wayne's wife in the chat. Here's Zach Bonifer
in the house.
See Mr. Zach. And always Quick Draw McGraw, always coming with the quick draw. I love it. Johnny Knight, Metal Brother, Johnny Knight.
Johnny Knight. We mean disc trackers. What you mean there? Disc trackers in the house.
Oh, I try to keep it on down low. So
I don't try and keep it on down low. I'm exposing him everywhere I go. Everywhere I go, I expose him. I've been waiting to see that mic drop.
We got the always awesome Simon Crook. Let's go. Fire the cannons. We're excited for football season. I know he is.
This is every time I hear about Simon.
The Moose Knuckle 5. There it is.
Moose Knuckle 5.
Simon and Johnny. We don't know who the other members are. They haven't been revealed yet.
We got Andrews in the house. Quick Draw. What's going on, brother? Strange dog comic stuff?
Strange dog.
Is that a new face? I think that's a new face. Is that
a
new face?
Well, it's an old new face. He's changed his name like 4 or 5 times because bullies will be bullies.
What's his name?
Ian.
What do you mean bullies will be bullies?
Bullies will be bullies. So Ian gets bullied. He changes his name. He changes his little thumbnail. So, stuff like that.
Ian, behave, man. Behave today, Ian.
He won't get picked on in here.
Good to see everybody coming in here and hanging out with us.
The Luau. Luau's always, man. You got to follow his whatnot. If you're not following Luau's whatnot, he brings the fire. The fire.
Let me tell y'all something I get confused on when it comes to Andrew. A lot of times I get confused on the fact that Andrew doesn't show off his shoe collection. He busts my chops about a shoe collection, right?
A couple episodes ago, he showed a shoe, I think.
A shoe, but I know for a fact he has like a garage full of shoes.
I know. And you're a shoe head too, so like
So I
that's
get
your jazz.
confused when he calls me out, but he doesn't like. I want him to show his shoe collection one day. Everybody should like harass him until he shows his shoe collection. Everybody should harass him. So let me ask you a question. Did you see the Upper Deck come out with the Funko the cards? Did you see that?
I did see that. I did see that, and I did see that hand drawn thing. Is that what we're talking? We're fixing to talk about.
So do you think they're gonna? Do you think we're gonna see them past San Diego Con, or was that it? I mean, was that it?
I would. I was led to believe so after today's article, but at the same time,
What do you mean?
They're tanking. They're tanking.
I mean, oh yeah. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't. But
I don't see it past the con because it's not sustainable.
How is it not sustainable though?
I just don't see it.
I mean, so I was patiently waiting for these cards to hit their website, as I know everybody here probably was, right? I mean, everybody here was probably waiting for these cards to hit Upper Deck's website. I have refreshed their website every day since San Diego Con, and there's zero Funko cards have hit their website, and I'm so confused as to what they're doing. Why would you bring out a product and then not sell the product? Why would you debut the product and then not sell the product? I know that I know a lot of times things are a misunderstanding because I don't understand them. I mean,
I have a theory. I mean, it's very thin to say the least, but remember when Funko was hot, and we were standing in line at Target waiting for Target to open.
Yeah.
And remember those people that were there for cards?
Yeah.
Now, you don't see that anymore, right? You don't see that anymore. So it's basically those people were getting into Funko, so they did get a little boost because the card flippers, we'll call it how we see it. That they saw profit in Funko at the time because they were making a living off flipping cards. And they're like, whoa, what are you guys doing? Oh, exclusive? Oh, then next thing you know, Johnny's there with his wife and 3 kids, and each one of them get one. And you're going, come on. I remember those days. So I think it's a ploy to get the card heads back into Funko.
Do you think that's what? Okay, so let me show you something. So I've been patiently waiting for these cards to hit like everywhere that they get hit. So then today I just decide that I'm going to look up these cards. I'm going to find these cards for sale because I see that some people like Adam from Bearda Pops and Tristan and a multitude of channels somehow all got their hands on these. I guess they either paid like top dollar for them or they knew somebody that was at the convention. Tristan was at the convention, so maybe he bought his own.
Going for that physical pop.
Right. Most likely what happened there. I see a multitude of channels that are opening these things. I already think they're overpriced. I think that they're like $1 a card. They're like $1 a card. So if you buy an 8-pack, it's $8, right?
Yep.
I already think they're overpriced, but I can't imagine that so many people have already gotten their hands on these. They just decided that they weren't going to sell them to the
masses.
Public. I don't even understand. I've been trying to wrap my brain around it, but I can't wrap it around to figure it out to save my life. And so it's going to bring me on to another conversation. When is the last time that you've seen an NFT?
Yeah, I mean, the thing with that is it's so rando when they're like, this set of NFTs shipping. It's shipping, everybody. Like you see the feed in Instagram, like, oh, people are receiving their and now everybody's waiting on the Power Rangers. And now they're all crapping on the Power Rangers because the one guy looks like the common, kinda, sorta. Since Stranger Things, yeah. Which is, hell, 2 months, 3 months ago? Longer?
So Andrew tells me that they were for sale at Hot Topic. I didn't know this.
Last week.
$180 a box.
That's what I'm saying. They all popped online at different stores like Hot Topic. I thought they were even Barnes and Noble. There was a couple where they were posting the boxes.
I didn't know that. So they were posting the pops, the cards themselves?
Yeah.
No, they weren't. Tell the truth.
No, I swear, I seen it. I seen it. A couple different places. You know, I'm not gonna name the toy stores,
Right,
but
right,
like a Ralphie's, for instance,
right.
Funhouse. Like you could buy them there, and like everybody had them, and they sold out fast because everybody wants that one scratch off,
Oh,
so you
they're
could get
killing
the
me. How
you could
even DC
it's
Pops? How did I not know this?
yeah, I bought 2 packs from on top to it. But yeah, that's a crazy. I mean, buck 80 was that what is that what Lewis is saying? Yeah, buck 80. I mean, it's it's like having okay. Everybody was complaining about NFTs also because they're like it's not physical. Well,
Right.
then Funko's okay. Well, here you go. But I can't collect the whole set and turn in the set to get a physical pop. You have to get the one scratch off pop card, right, for the redemption code.
All right, so let me tell you what I think's happening here.
It's just
I think
stupid.
that you're not going to see digital NFTs anymore. I think
Slowing
that
it,
the,
slowing the train.
I think that the NFT world is gone, and I'm going to tell you why I think it's gone. So Funko sold them at their Buckeyes facility, right? So they sold them at the Buckeyes facility. Once they sold them, they actually put a price on the pop itself. They had kind of skated the law by not actually putting a price on the
Sure,
pop itself. The
sure.
second that they put
Well, it did.
a price on that pop, now that becomes a lottery, right? Because you were buying the NFTs at that moment to obtain this product that's worth X dollars, right? Before it was just you're buying these with the redemption of this free product. They trust me, I know how this works because I've actually gotten caught up in this.
I
so
bet.
so they turned this into a lottery system, and I said it when they did it that they had made a tragic mistake because now they were going to get the gaming association involved. The gaming association's pretty hardcore when it comes to this stuff. Like they'll start
Sure.
fining you, and they get pretty stupid with it because if they deem it a lottery system, as we all knew it was. We all knew it was a Funko lottery. If they deem it as a lottery system, then now suddenly you have to do different things in order to get sanctioned, in order to like do it. You have to get approval from states. You can't just run
Yeah,
lotteries
yeah,
in
yeah.
states because that's what you want to do,
No, because
right?
they want theirs too. So
Right.
yeah, in order for
So
you to
they
do
were
that,
selling in all of these states, which means they would have had to have permits in all of these states. It was a huge mess that I knew that they inevitably
12 to
would fall
16 weeks.
into, but I didn't think that they would ever put a price on the pop. The second they sold them at the Buckeye, that put a price on the pop, and I think that it's finally caught up with them. Also, hear
Yeah,
me out.
man.
I
Yeah.
think that's why see the CEO
Yeah.
resigned. is is that it finally caught up with them because it has been months now since they have dropped an NFT, and now they're starting to drop the upper deck, which is hear me out. The upper deck feels rushed. Look at those cards and tell me those cards were designed by a designer.
No, I could print that on my computer tomorrow.
Exactly. Those cards were extremely rushed to try and
You
get
got a
back
good
into the
printer.
NFT market.
Yeah, that's
Those cards were extremely rushed. They were put on someone's computer who then like shot it through the system to get them out there so that they could sell them for a redeemable pop.
well. How can we sell this, Bob? We'll give them one redeemable pop
Yes, per
per, let's say,
box.
one pack per 100, 200
Right.
packs. You might get
So
one redeemable pop.
So in all reality,
Right?
Funko wants to sell their pops at $180 a pop. If you would have done the math on the NFTs, it was roughly going to cost you $200 to get a redeemable NFT. If you look at what they're doing with the upper deck, that case has a redeemable pop inside of that case. They've already told you this.
Hmm.
Every case has a redeemable pop. That means that they're selling you that redeemable pop at $180 a piece. That other stuff is absolutely garbage
Yeah, don't need it. Don't need it. If you ain't getting the whole box, then what's the point?
because those things look like trash. I mean,
So
they're
then you're technically paying $180 for a pop. I mean, if you have to buy the box to get the pop from all the packs at a certain price, because after the fact, let's say you open one pack and you hit gold right away. You're like, oh, there it is. Now I'm just going to sell these packs online. Well, definitely don't want to do that. Don't buy the packs online because that's. So now it becomes this whole, yeah, I just, not a fan.
it,
Not a fan.
it's
Not a fan.
I am a fan of the cards, but I also thought that the cards are gonna be a lot better thought out. I thought that we were gonna actually have, like, art on the cards. I
It'd
didn't
be
know that they were
cool if
just
they
gonna,
had
like
like like let's say you would go with
13th.
instead of going with just rando, just a bunch of different characters. It would have been smarter than to go like the NFT style. We're gonna release the Batman, the Spider-Man, because then you could get fighting scenes, characters, redeemables. If they would have done it the right way, I think I'd be down a little more because
I
I
would
am a card collector from
I
back
am
in the
too.
day.
Right.
And it's just if you stuck to one thing,
I would
but
100% be down.
you
I see
know,
everybody saying June 13th. I mean, that's very well possible. I couldn't really figure out when it was done. I
July
just know that
13th.
we normally seen them dropping them every 2 weeks. It was every
Yeah, I
2 weeks
was,
religiously
or at
forever.
least telling you that another one was
Yes.
coming. So it was like
Oh,
they were either
check
dropping it or
check this
telling
out.
you it's coming.
Check this out. Check this out. Watch this. Watch this.
Oh,
What's going on,
the
brother?
man. Snake said, "Talk about an upper decker." Let's go.
What's going on, guys? What's going on?
Oh, brother.
Your ears
Sorry, I'm late.
ringing. You're just like,
Sorry,
I
I'm
gotta
late to
get
the
in on
party.
this. I gotta get
Are
in
you
on
are your
this.
ears ringing?
Like stupid cards.
We were talking
It's like
about your favorite
stupid
thing on this
Funko
planet.
cards. Buy Disney
Go ahead.
cards. Stupid Funko cards.
Well, I'm going to be buying Disney cards.
I know that.
I love Stranger Things, but I do not buy NFTs.
All
ever.
right, so let's talk about Disney cards. So that we were on the subject of cards, let's talk about Disney cards.
One more week. One more week.
So
Yep,
they
we're coming.
came out at Gen Con, which was last weekend. Gen Con was going to be the official release of the Disney cards. I was going to go to Gen Con and buy as many of these packs as I possibly could, up until I was told that there was already a line waiting Thursday evening. There was already a line. Now Gen Con didn't start till Friday. There was already a line waiting to buy these cards. They had already lined up. These guys waited over 24 hours to get their hands on the cards. They were all stolen.
What?
Every last bit of them. Hold on, I think I pulled up the wrong article. Every last one of them were stolen. $300,000 in cards were stolen.
What?
Yes.
I'm sure
Yeah.
Disney's going to be suing somebody for that one.
So the kids walked in. Check this out. I'll get it pulled up real quick if I can find it. So the kids walked past everyone, security and all, and just walked out with a whole pallet of cards.
That's awesome.
Just walked out with a whole pallet of cards. These guys
These
have
days
been
too.
waiting.
I mean, seriously, like cameras everywhere.
How does that
Technology.
just happen?
These guys had been waiting for over 24 hours.
Cards stolen.
For over 24 hours, they had people waiting.
I told you though, dude. These Disney cards are going to be big.
Check this out. There they are right there. They walked in the building, past security, grabbed a pallet jack, walked up to the pallet, took the entire pallet out of the convention, and disappeared.
Just act like it's your job. Don't act like you're stealing.
Disappeared. So the other day, I had somebody say, "Hey, Wayne, do you still want some of those cards?" I said, "Oh man, those cards got stolen." They said, "Oh, no, I know where there's some for sale." Nope,
don't touch them. Don't touch them.
Don't want nothing to do with those cards. Oh, nothing to do. He's like, "Well, I think they're nope."
I have an address I could send them to.
You're not getting me caught up in that nonsense. So here's the young guys that decided, and that was the pallet of $300,000 in Disney cards right there. Nobody got the cards this weekend. I don't know if they gave the guys some kind of redeemable card or something. They should have. If you waited for over 24 hours and they didn't take care of you, man, that's that's
hardcore, man.
That's hardcore right there. They're out there. I've seen some of the cards so far because I got pictures of them when they asked me if I wanted to buy some. They look really cool. These cards were well thought out. They actually do have Star Wars in them. It's not just Disney characters. It's going to be all of Disney's franchise are in these cards, and they look fire. I mean, they look fire. They went all out with the foil. They went all out with the artwork. For all of the people out
See.
there that say that this can't take down Pokemon, they're smoking crack. I mean, once you see these cards, it has the same gameplay style as Pokemon. They have abilities, they have hit points, they have star. Look, it has the same gameplay, but the artwork is crazy good, crazy good.
I don't know about taking down Pokemon,
I got a comment on DC Pops. I don't know where they're saying Best Buy is already getting those. I would question that because as far as what the site has actually said is on the
September.
18th.
Yeah.
On the 18th, they're only supposed to be releasing to Disney. You can only buy them in Disney World or Disneyland. And you can also buy them at small card shops. Normal retailers are not supposed to be available until the 1st of September.
Yeah,
so
September.
They're selling them
pre-order, probably pre-order,
maybe pre-order. But if
they
are actually selling the starter packs, then they are not following the rules, and they'll probably get taken away quickly.
It's probably pre-order though. But check this out, Chase. So hear me out. So you see how Pokemon does the artwork just in the top of the card? So Pokemon does their artwork just here, right? Nowhere else.
Just a small frame because you got to have the stats. You got to have the stats.
The whole card is one big piece of artwork. Like I seen the Mando, and the whole thing is a foil, like just pimped out Mando, like you wouldn't believe.
What are the stats on top of the card?
No, the stats are like down at the bottom of the card. So they have the stats running down at the bottom. So it's just like where they have the stats and the ability. It's just a very small piece down at the bottom.
I hit you with the Mickey, and then you're like, I hit you with a Mando.
Yeah,
it's just like, okay.
Man, I'm telling you, I seen the artwork and I said that there's just no way. There's no way for all of the people out there that are like, there's no way they'll compete with Pokemon. You're crazy, crazy.
Yep. I'm trying to find my connections to find out where at Disney these are going to be selling on the 18th, because I'm interested in finding out how many people are going to show up to this.
Let me see if I can find that again real quick.
I'm going to reach out to my connection now and see if they can start looking it up.
You got to reach out to my connection. Say YouTube all of a sudden. You perked YouTube's ear up a little. Let me reach out to my connection.
I got you. Watch this. I just got to crop some stuff out of it real quick. Hold on. I got you. Check out this Mando.
Jeez.
Check out that Mando, Chris.
Oh, that's pretty awesome. See, the thing is, and I don't even want to play the game. I don't really have even an interest in the game. What? I am just an interest in the cards.
What?
Solely, that's all I'm interested in.
What? Tell me that card. Tell me that card can't compete with a Pokemon. Someone please tell me why it can't. Just help me understand why that card's not going to compete with a Pokemon.
I think it has something to do with gameplay too.
It's going to be the same gameplay. You can't patent
international though. Like you think it'd be big because Pokemon International is just
all right. So I don't
entity, man.
I don't know, but I do know that places Asia is normally does the same thing we do. So things that are in the United States hit really hard over there, just like things over there hit really hard over here. So if I had to guess, I would say that it's going to hit pretty hard over there. If I had to guess.
I mean, that's some pretty sick artwork because not only do you got the character, you got the background, and there's
Look, I seen one of them and I said, oh man, look, they not only do I want them, I'm sold on them. I want them a lot. I will not buy them right now though. I won't buy them until I can buy them from a retailer. And I suggest that you don't do the same thing because I'm not getting caught up in like, who did you buy this from?
Yeah, don't buy things offline. You're just going to get.
I mean, because if they're doing stuff like, let's say this here.
These guys are going to get caught, and these guys are going to get sued.
Foil Ghost Rider.
I
mean, come on.
There is a companion app coming out along with it too. So you can build your kind of like Funko. You can build a card database of the cards you have.
You have.
All right, Chase. So you brought something up a minute ago that I was kind of just gonna sit on for a minute because
Sure.
you know me, I'm not trying to get super negative with things, and
No.
I feel like a lot of the
Never.
community anymore immediately jumps on this negative
Well, it's
bandwagon
easy. It's easy.
well, negative sales. People want to be negative.
That's what I'm saying. It's
People
easy.
want to be negative. It's like 24-hour news, right? We used to only have news 1 hour a day, and your parents would sit down for that hour and they'd watch the news.
Oh no.
Well, now we need news 24 hours a day so that it can trigger you 24 hours a day so that you can be upset and miserable 24 hours a day, right?
Right.
So we can hear how shitty the world is 24 hours a day, right? Well, that's kind of like what some of the community does, and I try not to jump on that, but I want to touch on this because they are undergoing some more layoffs. They are reducing their product by 30% is what they said. They're cutting back. They say they're going back to grassroots. They're going to go back to the mom and style, lean and mean version of operating. I think that's the only way to operate a company anyways, is to do a lean and mean. I'm a Toyota lean person, so I believe that's the only way that you operate a company is really lean. They say that's what they're doing. So give me your 2 cents, and then I'm going to tell you why I think this is
You
a
want to go first? Tech. I'm in your spot.
No, go ahead.
I honestly, how do they not see this coming? Like, if you didn't see this coming, I really, you're just out of the loop, because the amount of products that they have just been trying to swing at the fences with, the amount of money we already saw, the backup of the dump truck at the, just so many pops just dumped in. Just, I even said it a little earlier on Instagram, was basically like, come on, guys. A movie comes out, we need every character, the obscure characters, really. Yeah, I mean, one or two characters, we're good. The collectors, we're good. We'll buy it out. You'll kill it. But I don't need every character.
Unless it's a hit movie like Pulp Fiction or something, right? Where every character is a heavy hitter, right?
Right. It's got to be like that.
It's got to be that movie, right? Where they're all
give
heavy
up, for
hitters.
instance, Wakanda Forever, 5-packs, 6-packs,
20 packs.
It's just too much. It's too much.
It was way too much.
Right now, has to be at least over 50, 60 Wakanda Forever pops at my local Target right now, all on clearance for $5 or
Never
less.
moving.
Never moving. They're not going to. They're gonna just $1 each, and they might be able to get rid of them. I don't know. When you know what the number one sign I thought was when it really started, Five Below. As soon as that happened, I knew it was going to slowly start to go off the rails. And Burlington, how many other stores? Dollar Tree.
Ross's Dress for Less.
I mean, so this is, and I'm like 30%. Let's go with 50. 45. They don't want to give up their money, but you already see how they lost 73 million. And that's, I can't say that's a correct number. That's got to be an estimate. There's no way that's a correct number. With the amount of real estate that they bought for the new
I do have to comment on Zach's avatar picture, because that's Al Bundy. So
33. I got him right here somewhere.
I've even got Polk High School, 1966 city champs.
Polk County, best rooms ever.
Chase, you're onto something. You knew that something was wrong when they started to show up at Five Below. I mean, I think we all knew, but we also all knew that something was wrong when they started like trying to force pops on us. When they started to when like you just said for a second, your Target has Wakanda Forever, right? When they started having pops that were building up at Walmart like Wakanda Forever that weren't selling, but yet they kept making them. We all kind of knew that something was array, right?
Something's up.
We all kind of knew that something was off, right? I mean, you're not selling them, but you keep making them. So we already knew from that point. Chris, give me your thoughts on it. What's your thoughts?
To be honest with you, I'm with him. Actually, I think that reduce it by 50%. To be honest with you, I've said it a long time. I mean, the bots have started it, and that was only COVID to kind of entice that more. The bots kind of brought them up and made them think that, they were more popular than they really were, to be
Artificially inflated the
1,000%
company.
honest.
Right?
Huh?
Artificially inflated the company, right?
They did. They did.
Yeah,
They made them
absolutely.
think, and by doing that, by the bots doing what they did, they made them think that they could sell more, so they increased production. And when the bots kind of went away because the values weren't going up there anymore, they had too much stuff on their hands, and they started going, the routes that they did. Now, with that being said, if you're going to, do something, you need to focus on your collectors, your actual fan base, not the
Right.
not the
Right.
bots, not the resellers, not the these type of people. You got to focus on the true collectors, the people that are wanting to collect them because they are a piece of art, in some level aspect. You need to focus back on that and focus back on what they want. To me, I want true chases again. I mean, true actual chases, not soda chases. Don't give a shit about those anymore. I want a true chase. I want a chase like my Jack Torrance. You had a great box with the red rum right on the front. You had the awesome chase with him, in the ice box.
Yeah.
I want true chases. I don't want you to change, one thing in their hand. I don't want you to change their box. I don't want you to, make one glow in the dark and not one glow in the dark. I want a true, actual chase. And the day they stopped making true chases because all they were doing was focusing on chases for sodas, I think they started losing a lot of people because, I mean, how often before, let's even say before COVID, did people go out and do actual hunts for and hope to find a chase in the wild? Who's actually going out and searching for chases in the wild anymore? Why? Because Funko doesn't produce true chases anymore. I think
I could just buy the bundle.
Funko sodas are definitely, to me, in my opinion, I'm done with them. I've been done with them. And I think the channels that overly focus on them are going to be in for a world of hurt come 6-8 months from now. I guarantee you they're not as popular as they once were. The next part about that is I agree that not only do they need to reduce their production, but they also need to start selling off some of these brands. Why waste production on gold? It doesn't sell. Why waste production on, some of the board games? Nobody buys them. Why waste production on backpacks and fanny packs and stupid wristwatches that they make? Why? Nobody buys them. Stop making this bullshit and go back to what it is that you guys are good at. To be honest with you, sell Loungefly. It's a moneymaker, but guess what? You're already losing a shitload of money. But if anything, drop all the rest of your brands and focus nothing on Funko Vinyl and Loungefly. That's it. That's all I would do. I would eliminate everything else, sell them off,
brutal,
make some money, and focus on go back to basics.
Go back to early numbers.
Honestly, if I was CEO, that's exactly what I'd do.
So that's basically what they say in this article that they're doing is that they're cutting back the fat. They're going to cut back the stuff that doesn't sell. They're going to cut back the things that are dead. They're going to cut back the products that don't make sense for them. They're going to get lean, and they say that they're going to go to a mom and pops like style of business, which I don't really know what that means, like mom and pop style. I understand like that let's go lean because you need to go lean at this point. They should have been lean the whole time. If you weren't, then you're just dumb. I mean, if you weren't running it like it was a business and to make money, you're in the wrong business.
Hold on. There's also one more thing I got to bring up that they need to stop. Is you want to bring value back? stop selling shared retailers on your damn website. Keep shared retailers to only shared retailers. It's going to bring up their value.
Hey, man, that was the only way I was able to get this stupid Walmart Spidey, man. I swear to God, because my Walmart is the worst.
I don't disagree with you.
Worst.
I do not
I can
disagree with
never
you,
get any exclusives from them.
Don't say it's a Walmart exclusive and sell everything on your website. I just don't.
Website. Thank God for that, because I'm just saying, I would have had to eBay it. It would have cost me double.
So this is where I agree with DC Pops. I don't blame them for trying new things, but when it bombs, it's time to walk away. I mean, you don't.
Yeah.
You don't
do it once a year. Try it.
Yeah, once the building's on
limited.
fire, I mean, you don't sit there with your water hose and try and put it out. I mean, you get out of the building. I mean,
don't. They get a taste, and it's like I don't know. It's like, oh, it's crack.
So hear me out. Hear me out. So this is what I got out of this article. We're going to go to 2018, 2019, which is what I believe was probably some of the best years of Funko, hands down. I still believe, with the exception of 2013, but 2019, 2020, right at the COVID, 2018, 2019, 2020, right at like the
highest,
COVID eras, right? That's when things were selling out. Right, things would sell out. That was when I feel like they had the best communication with the community. So you knew what was going to GameStop, you knew what was going to Hot Topic, you knew Hot Topic gets things now, and I'm like, wait, where did this come from? Where did this pop come from? And so I feel like that when I read this, I felt like we're going to go back to 2019, which is what they should do. They should go back to 2019, but I'm going to play devil's advocate for a minute, because everybody is talking about how bad this is, right? Everybody's talking about how bad it is that Funko is cutting their costs and they're cutting this, and how they're destined to go out of business. I'm going to lay down a bet now, and I'm going to do this live so that we can go back and watch this, because I don't take them off my channel. All of the people that are complaining about how Funko is going to die will still be unboxing Funkos tomorrow. These same people will be unboxing Funkos that talk trash about Funko. They will still be riding the coattail of Funko tomorrow. But here's the real kicker to the whole thing. When Funko starts selling out again because they're not producing at the rates that they're producing now, these same people will be complaining about them selling out. So which way do you want it? Do you want the company overly stocked to where nothing sells out and they're going out of business? Or do you want them selling out, right? Do you want them back to selling out and not being able to get it? That's what's going to happen again. They're going to go back to selling out because they're going to go to making smaller runs. When they start making smaller runs again, they're going to start selling out. And all of these people who are talking about how bad Funko is and how they're cutting back 30% will still be talking about how bad Funko is because they're selling out and not everyone's able to get them. Even though that's one of the community's biggest complaints, is that nothing goes up in value anymore because it doesn't sell out. And if it sells out, they just restock it, and then they restock it, and then they restock it, and then they restock it until it's not worth anything. You can't really have a collection without having something that's worth value, right? It's got to go up in value in order for you to want to collect it. And Funko's having that problem right now. If they adjust this right, they'll go back to having that problem where everything sells out. And people will go back to complaining about how you can't get the Funko you want because it's sold out. That's just my 2 cents on this conversation.
I want my cake and I want to eat it too.
Right.
I hear that. But as soon as they put too much availability into it, then there's no profit for the flipper. Right. And then all of a sudden they're stuck. That's the battle they have to choose. Do we want to make just that's the thing. They got such a good taste of so much profit during those COVID years, that hiatus, that they don't want to go back. They just, and they're clawing with everything they got. They're throwing everything at the wall. You know they are. I mean, VHS. Are you serious? That's what that's your plan for the future. That you got. I mean,
you don't like the VHS? What's wrong, man?
Oh, that is ridiculous, man. Here's one. Has anybody ever said, how about not just one chase, 2 chase variants? 2 chase. So that's 3 pops. I mean, don't take a brain scientist. Hell, I didn't go to college. I guarantee that would bump the numbers up on a few of those Funko, right? I mean, Come on, man. They're just. When was the last time you heard diecast?
So look, well, we know we got that. We got
come on, man.
we
They're
have the
just bad.
Spider-Man that's coming out soon, right? In the diecast when it comes to that one. That's a line that I don't think will
What's
ever
the difference?
be fast.
How many diecasts are up for sale on the website right now?
It's
I don't know.
Unless you got the first one. After that, you can find them. They're out there. They're cheap.
Right, but let's be honest. They got real lazy with their diecast. They could have did so much better with.
That's what I'm saying. They could have totally, knocked it out of the park, but they just wanted that profitability. They
could have legitimately
missing out.
Those Chase variants, and they would have been fire.
Oh, could you imagine?
But I mean, legitimately, because
Chase
that's metal, right? Because that's metal. They could have honestly chrome dipped them. And if they would have chrome dipped them, could you imagine how cool that thing would look with a real chrome on it?
Yeah, like looking like a trophy, just sitting there,
that it would have been. Yeah, I mean,
they
could have done all the colors. They could have done it if it was Boba Fett. They could have done
12-inch Mando.
If it was Darth Vader, they could have done it in black. So look, let's be honest. When it comes to the diecast, they messed up when it comes to the diecast, right? I mean, they messed up. I mean, they messed up when it comes to the diecast, and I don't think that it'll ever be a fast seller because that metal's expensive. But I had to pull these up for you, Chase, just in case you missed this. They are all up on their website right now. I thought these were like con exclusives. I guess I didn't ever think these were going to make it like to anything. Here's a good one for you. This is something. This is why this is why I don't like them. So this is a great Batman. We can all agree how great that Batman is. Right?
It's Batman. They can't be that great.
It's great Batman, right? We can all agree.
You pop that up for
so check this out. So
why do you keep bringing this one up? This one pisses me off.
Check this out. Did you notice that Batman and Martian the Marvin both have the same eyes in the face?
Yeah.
I mean, does anybody else see this? It looks just like the gold to me all over again. This looks like the Funko gold. Tiny. All over again. Check this out. This is the one that made me notice it the most, right? So let me find a good one because a lot of the haters are going to be like, "Oh, there it is." So let me find a good one. So here we are.
Well, that's some thought.
So here we are, right? Here we are. Let's go with the full size. So this is the Freddy Funko is the Martian alien thing or whatever it is that he's supposed to be.
A spaceman or I'm an alien.
Spaceman, alien. I'm not sure. The Chase variant, I think, is an alien. So you see this, right? We're all going to agree that this is Freddy Funko, right?
Wait, hold on. But before you change that, I just noticed something. Why in God's name does Freddy Funko have Raggedy Ann style fucking dots on his?
He's rocking freckles. So you're ragging on his freckles.
We can all agree, right? We can all agree that this is Freddy Funko, right? Right?
Yeah. Raggedy Ann, I suppose.
I guess right? Some dude with freckles,
Raggedy
Ann, spacesuit with a crown on. Now, if the alien has freckles, we got a problem.
No, but here's the difference. He's got chin hairs, and Funko Freddy has fucking.
So was it Shaggy?
It's stupid.
In the spaceman outfit, or was it Freddy Funko in the spaceman outfit? Which one was it that was in the?
Well, thing? Shaggy has chin hair, so it can't be.
He ain't got no freckles.
which one was in the VHS? Was it Shaggy or Freddy Funko?
You know, if we have another show talking about these VHS, we're gonna never show back up.
I'm telling you,
he said, "I'm just gonna get off." He said, "I'm just gonna be done." You know, you love these things. Everybody loves these things. This is the greatest line Funko has ever done.
Soulless eyes.
This is the greatest line Funko has ever created. Oh, this is the line of all lines. I mean, every one of them have the same face.
Are we all waiting for these to drop 50%?
No, they've already dropped. Well, I mean, it's only a matter of time before they go to 50% off, but every one of them has already dropped.
Five Below coming soon.
Look, this was one of the lines that I wanted to get behind. Honestly, everyone knows that I wanted to get behind this line. I opened that Freddy from the Fun Days. I opened that thing up, and he was like, "This is big." This is big, and he had this scary look to him. I mean, I wouldn't even let a toddler have this thing.
Hand it to a baby and make him cry.
Give him nightmares. And I said, "Oh,
soulless eyes."
Yeah, so it's a horrible line. Who told them this was a good idea needs to get slapped. Just on general principle. You know,
I
Disney has
can't
done that
imagine.
already,
I
though.
can't imagine. I can imagine what it would cost just to make the case that holds that just atrocity.
Disney's already done that, though. Disney's 100% already made the cases. They've already done the figures. They've done everything like that. I'm so shocked
They set it
that
up for
Disney
you.
allowed them
Here's
to
your
do this.
blueprint.
Well, it didn't work for Disney. I mean, so I don't know what would have made them think that it was
I
gonna work
still
for them.
have Disney VHS in that same style shell from back in the day.
With the
And
little
those are
figures
hot.
in it?
No, well, not with the figures. It's just VHS tapes. Now, if they had made them that size, put some thought into some detail, that maybe, because you're doing obscure stuff like the one you just showed. It's obscure. It's something that they normally don't make. If they would have stuck to that, even the Disney princesses in the same size, though. I mean, you're putting giant Funkos in the movie posters. You're able to do these things, and it's that big.
They were 100% able to do it. They just simply didn't do it, which
They
was kind
didn't
of
do
the
it.
crazy thing is they were capable of doing it. They just simply didn't do it.
No,
So at
they
Gen
cut
Con,
corners.
talking about Funko and Funko needing to trim down their products, Funko released the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. Have y'all seen this? Hot garbage. I knew that triggered Lou eventually. I knew eventually it'd trigger him. Have we seen this game? Has anybody? Have you read about this game?
I haven't seen anything. I'm a horror fan, so I'm intrigued. At the same time, I still have Funkoverse right here. I mean, I'll never play this game.
So this game.
Here's the first question everyone should be asking themselves: who the hell cares? To be 1,000% honest.
Hey, man.
Again, Funko needs to stop making games. They're not in the board game business. Leave that to Hasbro and let them do the board game business.
You're wasting money.
Get out of that. Stop doing it. Someone needs to. On top of cutting down our reduction or in production to 30% off, you need to cut the staff down to 30% off and start an IQ test for these idiots to find out how much they actually think this business should be doing. I mean, this is that's your big show off at a con is a board game? Seriously?
I would give you two.
How you doing today, brother? So check this out. This is going to be there's not much news today, Chris. You're gonna have to cut me some slack, man.
Good Lord.
There's your advertisement right there.
There's not much news today, man. You're gonna have to cut me some slack.
I know. I got you. I trust me. It's not so much even you. It's just you want to sport one article thing. You're cutting reduction, but then you go to a con and this is your big deal at a con.
This is their go-to at the con. So check this out. If you've ever played Dead by Daylight, this gameplay, the way that I read it, reminds me a lot of Dead by Daylight. The only crazy thing is it comes with like 3 or 4 boards and it's 1 versus 15 or 17 people, and everybody kind of plays on different boards. And so the overcomplication of the games Funko makes is crazy. Chase, when you were showing those games, that's why I've never played mine. That game is so complicated that I can't get past the first side.
I've watched tutorials and everything.
I can't get past the first page of the rules, and there's like 50 of them, and I can't like comprehend the first page. So I haven't. And I did the same thing you did. I did tutorials. I did everything I could do to try and figure out how to play it. I finally threw my hands up and said, I'm not even trying to figure out how to play this. I would imagine that the overcomplication continued in this game, but it sounds a lot like Dead by Daylight, right? So it's 1 person versus 15 people, and the last person surviving is the person that wins. Sounds kind of fun. I was a huge fan of Dead by Daylight. I used to love like being the serial killer that would kill everyone, but I quickly discovered that game got you more trolls than anything else. People got really upset about losing in that game. You could get on Fortnite, you could kill people. You get somebody that'd be like, yeah, go F yourself or something like that. Some little 5-year-old. This game, people would full blown like want to come burn your house down and murder your family. You're like, dude, what is wrong with y'all? You're like, what is wrong with y'all?
Calm down. It's only
just a game. You need to breathe. So
See, they're trying to stick their sticky little fingers in other people's stuff. Hasbro needs to just smack that hand. Psh, psh, go away.
Well, I don't think Hasbro has to, because they make their games so overly complicated that no one can play them, right? So here was my thoughts when I first seen that Funko had games. Is my thoughts were that we could all buy the same game, we could all sit on our computers, we could all go live, we could all play the game together, because you don't actually have to be with someone in order to play a game if y'all all have the same game, right? We could all play Monopoly together if we all use the same Monopoly board, right?
Honor system.
Pretty simple how to do this, right? I mean, it's pretty simple, like how you make this work. But they made it so overly complicated that there's no logical way to make that happen. I mean, there's just no logical way to make that happen, and unless you're a rocket scientist or something, and you know how like these games work. I don't know. Has anybody been keeping up with the Barbie drama? Any Barbie drama?
Oh yeah, I've been hearing about it. I saw a car yesterday on my route doing my things. There was at least five people packed in this car. There was so much pink, it was blinding. First off, and we're at the light, and I'm like, I look over, and it's just a carload of pink, and they are blasting music, and it just looked like they were on their way to the Barbie movie. Like, I swear to God, I was like, what the hell? And they're like, whoa, it's a Barbie world, and they're all yelling and screaming out of this car.
So I haven't physically went and seen the movie. I don't really go and see movies unless there's something that I'm heavily invested in. Like a Doctor Strange, when they made that new Doctor Strange that had Wanda in it, I was heavily invested in that. I was there, right? I mean, I was there for that one, right? So I don't go and see movies unless it's something that I'm heavily invested in. I was kind of going to wait for this one to come out on TV or Netflix or Hulu or one of the streaming services and watch it.
Yeah, I go to no theater to watch that.
First, me and Chris actually talked about this a couple of weeks ago. We were talking about how everybody had gotten triggered about a map. That's kind of like, I think that the media led us to believe that was what the trigger was, right? The trigger was this map that shows China owning parts of Asia that it doesn't actually own. Right,
well,
so there was like 8 countries that banned this movie from the chart.
Here's the dumbest part about this:
people are freaking out, man. They're going in.
Mind you, I don't watch the news, and I really don't follow. But somebody did point me out to this. They pointed me out to a Fox News article where he was literally standing in front of a blown up version of this map, and he's talking about the 7 lines of whatever, blah blah blah. There were 6 lines, people. There was only 6. Somebody needs to tell that guy to go back to grammar school and learn how to count. There were only 6.
It's the number of the beast.
That's 5 on this hand and 1 on this.
I mean, this is the things that, like, I mean, it's not only it's going on in the real world, it's going on in the Funko community. Everyone's just making stuff up because there's nothing else to talk about.
They're bored. Shiny object. Yes, they're bored.
So DC says that he watched it and found it somewhat amusing. They're coming out with the Barbie pops. I don't know that anybody's going to buy these. I actually know some people that went and seen this. So I'm going to I'm going to give what I discovered through like other people and what the real triggers are with this movie. So this movie has a lot to like So, there's like people believe that there's a lot of male toxicity going on right now. This movie has a lot to do with like the opposite side to that, right? We somehow forget that there's 2 sides to that equation, right? So you can be a toxic male and you can be a toxic female, right? So they're steady trying to take the masculinity out of males, but then it swings too far the other way. This movie has a theme to it that all Kens are jobless, carless, homeless, and worthless.
Nice.
Is the theme Dude, poor Ken. All Kens.
Hawkins.
And they tell me that they make it a point to repeat this over and over and over throughout the movie.
And still in the little ones.
Yes. So the person that I talked to said that they loved the movie. They just couldn't get over like the direct bashing of Ken over and over and over.
The background theme.
They said they just couldn't get past that. They said the movie was great. It was getting past that was the difficult part to get past. Chris almost fell over.
I mean,
okay, hold on. I gotta rant on this a little bit.
yes, let's go.
Okay.
Rant.
First of all, people, let's bring this back down to what it is. It is a Barbie movie. It is a Barbie. Now, if you ever had a brother or a sister, pretty much at least a sister, and you were, like my house, it was my sister and myself. My sister had Barbies. I had G.I. Joes. And I'm sorry, but technically, all these kids that got Barbies, they weren't going out to go get Ken. Ken was at best an accessory. And in the Barbie world, nobody, even if you played with your sibling, Ken was only created so your male sibling could have somebody to play with when you guys did Barbie.
You were forced to play Barbie.
And you were forced, pretty much. But
play with your sister.
You had something of a male thing. So really, let's think about this. In the Barbie world, is Ken relevant? 100% not. Stop mixing real world with something that's fantasy, that's made up, that's make believe, that's something that 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-year-old, 10-year-old children create as they go. They don't have any thought of reality. They are just playing with the items in front of them. This is not. I can't believe how much people take things so seriously. It absolutely dumbfounded me.
So it turns out that's like the major problem with the movie is the not liking of Ken for whatever reason.
Ken is an accessory. So he's not even a major part.
Funko is going to be making, if I don't know if they're already making them, but they're going to be coming out with how dare you. Greta Thunberg. What is wrong with you?
I mean, really, if you wanted to make Ken relevant, you would have made Beer Belly Ken.
Belly Ken.
So anyways, Funko's going to be coming out with these guys
with a Joe Dirt haircut.
With white smacking action
soon. I don't really know. I don't know anything about the movie. I don't plan on watching the movie, so maybe at some point it will like come out and I'll get to see it. But until then, we're gonna click.
My kids went and saw it. To be honest, my wife took my kids to go
see
it a couple weeks ago.
I'm curious.
1,000% honest, my wife said, I guess there's a part where she goes out into a real world and goes out of Barbie world. Completely lost my youngest at that point. She was only interested when the Barbie was in the Barbie world.
It was in the Barbie world.
That
makes sense.
So again, people, it's make believe.
That makes sense. Totally lost once she went out into the real world.
Some people need to go back to their childhood and remember how to imagine. Use your creativity and imagine something for once. And then maybe you'll appreciate these things.
What did your wife honestly think about it though? What was her honest takeaway from the movie? Was it good, bad, and different?
That was a wasted 3 hours.
Was it a waste of her life?
She will actually come and tell.
He said, "I'm going to go get her and make her tell me."
Well, if you're curious of what the Kingdom's drinking tonight, they're not a sponsor, but it's damn good. Angry Orchard, hardcore. We got hardcore. We got dark cherry apple cider. If you get a chance, try it. Sponsor.
Well, we got yours. We know. I know the kids.
neighborhood.
She's getting the kids ready for bed. So
that's okay. Maybe another day. Maybe another day.
But
I knew that wasn't going to go well. Hey, come in here and tell them what you thought about the Barbie movie.
I like this one. I like this one.
That's fantastic.
But anyway, so we know that movie caught a lot of controversy. We could even go in down to the actor. So they said that the actor. There's a lot of people that say that they picked the actor, and I can't think of her name right now because she was basic, non-intimidating toward other females. I don't.
She's Harley Quinn.
What's this in reference to?
The actor that played Barbie.
Oh, Margot Robbie?
Yeah, they say that the reason she was picked for Barbie is because she was average and non-intimidating toward other women. I don't know if that would be true.
Come on, this is the same. This is the same lady that played, badass New Yorker,
Wolf of Wall Street.
Wolf of Wall Street. He played Harley Quinn,
yeah,
which is probably one of the best live adaptations you'll ever get of Harley Quinn.
Yeah, there'll never be a better one.
Never. I think Margot Robbie's a fantastic actress. I think, it don't take anything away from, Ryan Gosling. I think Ryan Gosling is still a great actor. It's a role. Come on, people.
So the New York Con is going to be October 12th through the 15th.
What are we gonna announce at New York Con a new puzzle
already
from Funko?
We're probably going to have at least 2 new puzzles by the time we get to New York Con.
And a Count Chocula watch.
What do we think? What do we think? Do we do? So I'm gonna take Here's my question because I want
another rat.
I want to go to this con. This is a con that I'd like to go to. Do we think Funko's going to be here?
They should technically.
They normally are every year, right? They're at San Diego and they're at New York, but this is a different kind of year for Funko. We didn't even get to figure out what San Diego's releases were till almost like the day of the convention. I mean, week of the convention. I mean, we didn't find out what their releases were until like last minute. And if they're doing layoffs and they're doing cutbacks, do we think that they would cut back on a convention?
Well, the thing is, I think you have to still do conventions because regardless, conventions are your bread and butter. This is where the collectors are. This is what the collectors are into, and that's what you have to go for. Now, do you have to go all around and release, 25 pops, which 75% of them are product dumps? No, you don't. I'd be fine if you just released 5 awesome limited Funkos, to be honest with you. I think that's where you run it, but you still have to make a presence. That has to be part of your advertising budget. That's something you have to do. That's where your fans are. That's where you have to be.
Sounds like a Fright Night action.
Chase,
they'll definitely be there. Will they do an exclusive box? Will they do just rando exclusives? Of course they will. They're going to be sticking their nose in every con they can to save the drowning ship.
Do you think so?
I absolutely think so.
So I don't know. I'm at a 50-50 on this. I believe that they'll be there because they've always been there, right? This is their claim to fame, and their company is
where they push their stuff.
Yes, this is their claim to fame as to where they push their products, right? Is at conventions. But I don't know. I'm at this strange crossroads, right? Because this is where they've been. Last year they started the Halloween. What was it called? The Fright Nights. They started the Fright Nights there. Do we think that they'll do Fright Nights again?
Yeah, I think I've seen a sneak peek spoiler that they absolutely are going to be doing the Fright Nights again.
So you believe they're going to be doing the Fright Nights again?
Yeah, I don't know if it'll, 2023, they're not. Yeah, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
In all honesty, this is only 2 months away. I mean, this is 2 months away. You'll have the New York Con will be here in 2 months. October. When do we think they're going to start releasing their pops?
See.
Wait, sorry, what did I miss?
Well, I
Yeah,
was saying
I
that this
mean,
is
it'd
only
be
2 months
smart.
away. When do we think they're gonna start, like, releasing their pops?
Yeah, like here's
End of
your answer.
October.
You think it'll be the end of it can't be the end of October. This is the 13th through
Maybe the
the
week leading up to it. No,
13th through the 15th
maybe
is the convention, October.
13th. So yeah, the first week. The first week.
It's 2 months away technically. I mean, this is 2
Yeah.
months away.
I mean, that would be the smart thing, because you tease them with what's going to happen, then the fear sets in for anybody. It's like, oh, if I did, yeah, yeah. I would say like the week before.
So what would you like to see at the convention?
Nothing new. Nothing new. Like no new products, no poopsies, or I don't need a new line of candy pops.
You don't need a new line of candy pops?
Yeah, nothing new. Just give me Freddy's or go away.
Have you tried those? Have you tried their candy?
I should have ordered 2 because I so want to try this candy.
What do you mean?
I love some candy.
Why haven't you tried it?
Because I don't want to open it.
Eat the brains.
What's wrong with you? Are you being serious with me right now?
Well, I figured in the next Funko order, because they're still on the website, like right now. So I figured my next Funko order, they're like $7. I'll order me another one, and I'll try the candy from a different one. I don't want to desecrate this Freddy by eating his candy.
Oh, Andrew, what do you mean? What do you mean, Andrew? You're gonna have to tell me what you mean.
Too late. He's already done.
You're gonna have to tell me.
They snuck it in us.
They snuck it in on us already. Already released those. They've already been released. They've already hit your local Hot Topic along with the cards that I missed somehow. Along with all of those cards you missed.
In some kind of freaky time loop.
So I think that you can go and buy these pops already made. Oh, I agree with you there. I agree with you there. I just don't know if that means anything.
No, pops already made.
Right. Yeah. I just don't know if that means anything. You could always sell them without going to the convention. I mean, you just don't put a sticker on them, or you say it's a virtual event. I mean, you know how Funko does virtual events. I mean, that could easily become a virtual event. I have mixed feelings. So it's 50%. I say they're going to be there. The other 50% says that they won't be there. So I have 50% of me that says that we will 100% see a Funko appearance with the booth, and the other side of me says that they're going to save that money and we'll see it all online.
Yeah, we'll see next year.
Right. I mean, so I have this split right now that I don't really know how to feel about it. And it's a strange split because I've never had that split with Funko before. I think this is the first time that I've honestly thought that Funko might be coming to a demise. I mean, if something doesn't change for them here rapidly, they're going to be in trouble.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. The sign's on the wall. When you're selling like text, like when you're selling Walmart exclusive, Hot Topic exclusive, Barnes and Noble on your own website, there's your sign. The old now there's your sign. Five Below, there's your sign. They better do something. They got to be at the cons. They got to, because if they're not at cons, then they slowly start fading in the back. And they slowly fade away. You know, so that they'll definitely be there. They'll definitely be there. But the fact is, like, don't try to like get fans of Funko on something new. I mean, the greatest thing they could have ever done for the company was they came out with the sodas. They should have stuck to that, and they should have rode that wave and just stuck to the basics. Now we're getting sodas with no numbers. Now you're throwing everything at the wall. It ain't working. No wonder you lost 73 million. I mean, come on.
Is that how much they lost? Was it 73 million?
73 million.
Was it a loss, or was it just not gained income?
No, that it said loss from what I was reading. The stock was JKL. Awesome. Could tell you about the stock, how because he has just a few shares. I mean, I don't think it's a lot, but he invested like some of us back in the day when we were hot on the stock thing. And it's just Andrew. Steady drop. Sodas are dying. Everybody knows they're dying because you messed it up, because you put too much out too fast and trying to mix it with everything else. And yeah, they didn't concentrate. So that's the only way they stay alive is by being at cons. So.
I don't think anybody would like why I think the sodas died. I think that the community killed the sodas.
I agree with you.
The community
Yeah,
was
yeah.
gobbling. Listen, so hear me out. The community was gobbling these things up by the case, and they knew that every case you bought, you got one Chase variant, right? So the community was gobbling them up by the boxes, the cases, and then they were going on Whatnot and selling them for god awful amounts of money, and it just kept happening, and nobody was able to get their hands on these chases without spending god awful amounts of money, and it took the hunt fun out of it. Why go and even try and buy one when you know that it's going to sell out to somebody who's going to have 5 cases, and then he's going to try and sell you that one chase for $200? I mean, so I think the community burned out the sodas. I think the sodas would still be doing great if Whatnot would have never came around. If Whatnot would have never been a thing, the sodas would still be thriving very heavily. But Whatnot became a thing, and people became very flipping on that soda, and it messed it
On
up.
that auctioning stuff.
But that goes
Yeah,
back to the
I
bots and what
never
Chris
even
was
thought
saying
about
earlier
that.
about overinflating, right? So the company got overinflated. They got an unrealistic view of what they thought was right because people were buying them by the case consistently. And then when people said, I'm not even going to buy it because I know that I can't get it. And then when I do get it, dude's going to want $200 for it. So now no one's buying them. Right. So people said, I couldn't afford the last 50. So I'm not going to buy one now.
I mean, it's all math, really. I mean, it's okay. I buy a case. It costs me this much money. I know I get a chase. I sell the others, and I make my money back. And I got the chase that I can turn around and sell that. And now all of a sudden, ching ching. How's that sustainable? It's not. It's just not. It's just not. You know how Funko sustains that? They go, let's say, we'll go, for instance, Nosferatu, 8,000 piece, right? 8,000 run. And then we hit them with the Jack 18,000. That's how we sustain, right? And then we pump that puppy up to 20,000. Then we say, screw that. How about no numbers?
Well, and I agree too that with Andrew on this. I think that to a certain extent, whether they meant to do it or not, I mean, I wouldn't even put eBay in this category, but Whatnot is part of the demise of Funko.
I think the demise of the card collectors.
Think about it, because Whatnot came around at a perfect time. If you were building that site, it came around at a perfect time because it was right there towards the end of COVID. Everybody had bought a bunch of crap that they were trying to figure out how they could sell. They didn't want to sell on eBay. People weren't buying stuff off of Facebook Marketplace because they didn't want to go out and meet up with people handily. So you do Whatnot and you get into it, and they had a great idea to start with trying to have all these rules to find out who can sell and stuff like that, which I mean was all for nothing because lately I've seen that Whatnot has some of the scammiest sellers around. So obviously their whole 500-page application was bullshit. So but I think they demised it. They didn't regulate it. They didn't monitor it. They didn't do a lot of things, and people just started dumping stuff off. And in the beginning, it was great, but then, of course, it caught wind more. More people get on there. More people start buying things for less because, there's an abundance out there. People start realizing there's abundance. I'll just go wait till the next auction or something like that. And I think ultimately, Whatnot has to be put up there as a sole reason or sole factor to Funko's demise.
It's a very heavy. It's very heavy, like hand in it. Very heavy hand in it. I mean, for sure.
It has the Whatnot being there has solely, and not solely, I'm not going to use that word, but it has had a large effect on the value of one's pops. It has disrupted the great Funko circle of life.
Sure.
I would
do
even
like
argue.
eBay. Have you guys even checked out the eBay auctions? I mean,
I don't do eBay auctions. I just sell things for certain things, and that's it.
I'm surprised it hasn't taken off a lot more. I'm telling you, check it out because it's restrictive. So like when you watch Whatnot, which that's why I'm like, it's the Wild West. If you're if you're doing Whatnot, it's the Wild West. It's literally it's scrolling. Do you got this? Well, let me go take a look. Let's start this at this. eBay, everything's preloaded. You cannot load in the middle of a live. Everything's so restricted. It just runs like a well-oiled machine. It's just really impressive.
I expect that from eBay.
Yeah, I checked it out and was like, okay, so that's what's going on. All right. Yeah, I'll keep my Whatnot app just to use it as a price guide, really. I haven't sold anything on there in forever. And I was thinking about doing an auction, but it's not even worth it.
I heard about this one.
Yeah,
there's been a lot of this though. So there's been a lot of like people who pulled really high end cards out of these Panini packs, and then they wouldn't give them the card. They wouldn't give them the card. They were like, "Oh, I know you bought this pack, but I'm going to sell this card for $50,000."
Yeah,
right. So there's been a lot of that on eBay.
And the thing is, Whatnot's been like that. And I'm not going to sit here and clout chase and go do an entire video on how much Whatnot, has gone down the tubes. But there's been more and more of scam artists. I've heard more from people that stopped doing Whatnot because they would get something and they would never receive it, and or they received it in the shittiest packaging ever, and their pops are trash. I've just seen so many horror stories that Whatnot just doesn't regulate.
They don't vet anymore. They don't vet anymore. So, okay, I didn't send the thing, so now I can't sell on your site anymore. Oh well, creates a whole new whole new email. Immediately gets accepted. Now he's already back to doing what he was doing before. It's just garbage.
So I would even go so far as to argue that Whatnot has lowered the value of our collections. Take that for whatever it's worth. They've made everything more readily available. They've made everything more readily available. It gave people a place to go and sell things all the time. So whereas before people wouldn't really know how to get their hands on a Venom, now there's 50 of them sitting there for sale. I mean, so it changed the world forever when it comes to Funko Pops. But it's time to call it a day. Chase, what you got going on next week?
What do I got going on next week? The same old. I got a Spider-Man video coming up. Scarlet Spider. It came out a while ago, but I don't care. I'm a Spidey fan, so I'm shooting a video for that. But I did
a Walmart exclusive from Funko.com.
Come on,
throw it in.
I will actually. I'll put that in the video for sure. But I did get the.
Sorry. I had to poke at that one. I had to.
I did get the. You know how you got the Funko vaulted. I did pick up that Spidey, so I'll be shooting that video. Mr. Ugly's been chiming in at the bits to do some more spooky videos, so he's got some stuff coming up. And you can always catch me Saturday for Morning Brew Funko Review on Chase's Kingdom. Yeah, around 11 a.m. Eastern Time every Saturday. We talk Funko. Sometimes we have crazy cats like these two guys pop in. You never know what could happen. So join me for an all-new episode of Morning Brew Funko Review. Grab a cup of Joe and let's talk Funko. That's what I got going on, man. And it's the same old usual stuff. Check out all my stuff. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up.
Chris, you seem really entertained. What you got going on next week, brother?
I'm always entertained by this. Not much. I actually do have a long-form video coming out for first time in a while, to be honest with you. I've got my Animal Kingdom Lodge review. The video is already done. I just got to make the thumbnail and put it up. Also have a Chef Mickey's food review that we had done. Haven't edited that one yet. From out at our trip we did this past weekend. So, yeah, we had fun. And
always posting cool stuff on Instagram. Guys, follow Tech on Insta. Let me tell you something.
Trying to, still trying to figure out a groove of things. And really, I'm at a point where I'm just putting out things when I really feel like it. To be
the fireworks show the other night was amazing. I'm like, look at Tech. I don't see anybody else posting firework videos.
There was a thing. I don't even think
the damn fairy came out of the castle. It was ridiculous, bro. I lost my shit.
There was something when we were there. I don't think anybody noticed it, but I had started. I was considering. In fact, I started a live for that fireworks show, and just before it started, I was like, nah, I'm gonna because I know if I film it myself, the footage is gonna be better. So I was like, no, I'm just gonna. So I ended it probably after about a minute, and nobody showed up. So I'm like, that's all right. So I went in and deleted it afterwards. So I don't think anybody ever knows that thing ever started. But yeah, I figured because
awesome.
I wanted the better film of it, and lives just don't give the better filming of it. So yeah, and what's cool is the spot we were at. Yes, we didn't get full castle projection, but Tinkerbell, it was right underneath the Tinkerbell line, so she was basically right over us.
That was awesome. What you got going on?
So it was a lot of fun. Kids had a blast, and it was hot as crap.
Don't even get me started.
Good Lord, man!
It's been like 80 here. It's been like 70,
quit bragging.
70, 80 over
Quit your bragging.
It's been rough days, guys. Rough days.
Luckily, for the most part, I can stay in my office at work and not get out there. But you know, my friend Chase over here, he's got to be outside all day.
Oh yeah, hot working.
I truly appreciate y'all, and
thumbs up.
Have a good one, guys. We'll see y'all next week.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Sometimes the easiest things to do take the longest amount of time to get done. I don't know if anybody's ever noticed that, but before we get out of here real quick, guys, don't forget to go check our channel memberships out. These are both very new features to Mr. TechBot and myself, but we're both very proud that we have made it to this point. So go check out our memberships. The link should be down in the description below. If it's not down in the description below, you should be able to go to any one of our videos and it'll be down in the description below. So make sure you go check that out. It's super cool, fun way to get interactive with the channel. You'll get some really cool icons, some really cool emojis you can drop over in that super chat. You can drop over there in that chat so that you can flex on everybody a little bit. And don't forget that any and all super chats will go down in the description after this video is over. Give us 15, 20, maybe even 30 minutes to get it down in there. I mean, we might not be able to do it right away. You know, we've got to eat dinner and still hang out with our family, but we truly appreciate all of you guys, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Have a good one.